Hey guys,
It's Mur.
and it's Kota.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Let's go. Welcome.
So today we are going to talk about our shuffle journeys,
Yes,
how we started and where we are now.
we're about to dive in.
All right, so I got some questions here. Coda.
What you got?
So first question is, when did you start shuffling?
I started shuffling in 2000 and late 2016, early 2017.
Okay. And what inspired you to start?
What inspired me? So when I was at Moonrise, which was the festival that I first saw shuffling at, one of my buddies, Austin Childers, he was from Florida. He was pretty much hitting the cutting shapes Running Man, and I saw that, and it just like a fire sparked inside of me. Like I was like, "Yo, I want to learn that," and
Yeah.
I was like, "What is that?" And he told me it was called shuffling.
Yeah.
So I started doing research after going home from Moonrise that day.
Okay, and then so after that, after you got inspired, how did you learn how to shuffle?
So after seeing that, and I was trying to learn at Moonrise that year, I was pretty much just doing like a house step type of deal, and I thought that was shuffling, but no, it wasn't. I went home and I started looking up on Instagram, and I followed a whole bunch of people from UK, Spain. Guerrero was one of them. Mark Fingers was one of them. Marvik, yeah,
Yeah.
all those guys are the guys who you said what taught how'd I learn?
Yeah.
So pretty much I learned from watching their videos and just going home practicing in my apartment gym and stuff like that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, well, okay, so I know that inspirations change over time. So those are your inspos now. Are they still your inspos?
I would say, Mark Fingers doesn't really shuffle anymore, but he was my huge inspo when I first started because the way he's his style, his groove,
Yeah.
was just I don't know, it was just my fuel to my fire really because I was like, that shit's sweet.
Wait.
But yeah, so but nowadays one of my inspos is a Russian shuffler. His name's Max, and
Yeah.
he really inspires me because he has a lot of hip hop in his flow and glides, and yeah, that's
He's
awesome.
crazy
Insane.
with his combos that he creates.
Yep.
And then I guess what's been the best part of your shuffle journey?
The best part of my shuffle journey is obviously meeting Mur. But no, another part that's been really awesome is just the community itself.
Not just me.
Well, I met her through it, so that's a big part. But you know what I mean. Just the amount of people that I've met through shuffling has been so wonderful and great, and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah, I feel like I could go anywhere, travel anywhere, and stay with there's a bed or a couch for me to sleep on. So I love that.
Yeah. Literally we've visited people all across the country and have been able to see them just through the power of social media
Yep.
and connections.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess if you could summarize your shuffle journey, because it's been a while. You said since 2016.
Yeah.
I guess kind of give me a timeline of how you started and where we are now.
Okay, so pretty much when I first started, I didn't start posting on Instagram right off the bat. I didn't feel confident enough, but I followed the people from Spain, and I watched their videos, and I got to the point where I felt confident enough to start posting. And I think my first video that I posted was in 2018, and it was just in my apartment complex. Also had my Instagram that I already had, and I had 5,000, 6,000 followers, and I was I do not want to have this account for that. So I started a different account for shuffling, and so which I named it Kota Works, Kota_Works. And it's funny, long story short, but before I named it Kota Works, I was gonna name it Kuda Works, because when I was an iron worker, all the guys that I worked with, it was a joke, but they called me Cooter, and I was like, it was funny because it was just a little joke, and obviously I know what Cooter
Yeah.
means, so blah blah blah. Anyway, my ex actually convinced me not to do that, change it to that.
Now you're Coda.
And now I'm Kota, so I'm psyched about that.
So from there, I guess then you got into the DMV Shuffle Circle.
Yeah, so after finally posting and going back to the thing, when I first started posting, it's crazy how many doors like shuffling has opened up for me.
Yeah.
Because when I first started shuffling, obviously DJs were reaching out to me, and I had 50 followers. I remember telling my sister, I was like, watch, and the next year I'm gonna have 100 followers, right? And then the next year came around, I think I had like 150, 200
Did you
followers.
say like, I thought you said like, I'm gonna have like 10,000 followers, and then you had like
I think
100.
actually that might have been what it was. I was like, I'm gonna have 10,000, and I had like 100. So, and then recently I hit
I was
over
gonna
10.
say, yeah, like, you
so.
got 10,000 now, so.
Yeah. Which the whole time I was like updating my sister like when I hit those numbers, because like she was like before I met Mur, she was like one of the first people that I was talking to about it, and it's just so funny and crazy like how that's, you know, all tied in. But anyway, like, yeah, ended up like continuing shuffling, and then ended up going to Moonrise again, and I went and I met this one of my shuffle friends, Marcella Soya, and she, like, at Moonrise after that we stayed in contact, and she invited me to come to Brooklyn, like New York. And so my buddy Tupool, which his name is Billy, he was hosting an event, because now he's DJing and he's doing his thing, and I'm really proud of him. But before, he was like strictly like a shuffler. Long story short, I went to this event, and it opened my eyes to like the shuffle community. I went there, and there was literally 8 different circles going around, and you could walk to any different circle and see shufflers that had insane styles, insane footwork, insane hip hop, like with their style, and like, I don't know, it just really inspired me to keep on grooving and you know, getting it. And like, that's where it introduced me to the DMV Shuffle Circle, because driving home that night with Marcella, she was like, have you ever thought about reaching out to the DMV Shuffle Circle? And I was like, DMV Shuffle Circle? I didn't even know they had that. So after I got back from that, I reached out to the DMV Shuffle Circle, and my buddy Vinny, November Sun, which is his Instagram handle, he was like, yeah, dude, like, it was like the weekend after that, he was like, yo, like, you should come to Gorgon City, like, we're having like a meetup, blah blah blah. So I ended up coming to that and meeting meeting pretty much a lot of the people from the DMV. Long story short, I ended up becoming a moderator for them. Now I'm an admin, and now we just all work together. That's like 8 guys or 7 guys that, you know, we all work together. We promote, market the DMV Shuffle Circle, host
just
meetups. Just
support the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
You want to answer those questions?
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Let's do this. All right, Mur. When did you start shuffling?
I started shuffling in the very, very beginning of 2020. So January, or it was during winter break. So like maybe like end of December, early January. But I think my first like recorded video was like January like 3rd or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
Like I said, it was over winter break, but then went back to school, and then like quarantine happened because like COVID. And then just made it my quarantine project to start.
Heck yeah. All right. What inspired you to start shuffling?
So when I was in college, I went to the University of Maryland, so it's like right outside DC, where there's a bunch of like EDM venues. So like a lot of people at Maryland raved. So it just like introduced me to the rave scene.
Yeah.
And then my friends introduced me to house. I think like one of my first shows ever was Chami. So I was like,
Chami's awesome.
Yeah, so it was like Chami, and I was like, oh my god, I love this music. This is like crazy. So like, I just really wanted to learn how to dance to it. And then like one day, me and my friends were just like watching music videos.
How did you learn how to shuffle?
Well, I was gonna say that music video of Elena is also what inspired me. The Blau music video that she did, and it was literally just the entire music video was her shuffling, and I was like, dang, I want to do that. So it was like 2 years later, I was like, okay, like now is the time to do it. Like I need to like put time into like actually dedicating myself to learn this. So
heck yeah. So going to that's pretty much how you learned, right?
Well, not from the music video. So like when I started, like I didn't know who. You said you looked up like a bunch of people on Instagram. Like I didn't know who to look up on Instagram. Like, so I went to YouTube and just looked up shuffling. Just only got Running Man and T-Step tutorials, and I was like, where's all the other moves? And like I want to learn all like the crazy footwork. Like not realizing that the Running Man and T-Step were like the foundations of shuffling, so like I needed to dial those first. But then I came across Van's page, like Vanessa Secco, and like she had 12 days of tutorials that she did on YouTube, and like I learned through choreos better than I learned through like freestyling. Like I need people to like tell me combos, and so I can practice them and like put them together. So like I practiced a lot of her choreography tutorials that she had posted, and then like Elena also had a bunch of like shapes tutorials. So yeah, that's how I learned, just like through YouTube.
Awesome. Let's go to the next question. Who is one of your biggest inspos at this time, or when you first started?
So when I first started, it was Vanessa and Elena, since they were the two people that I like learned from. It's definitely evolved more since like I met you and you've introduced me to a lot more people. So a lot of the people that we're friends with are my biggest inspos, like Sterling, Sierra, Kento.
Heck yeah. I love them.
Yeah. Like just we like Lala too, Donovan, like they're all from like,
I mean, even people out here on the East Coast, like Matt Crockett.
Yeah, like our friends
Benny,
Matt and Meg.
like,
oh my god, like they're
I know, like
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people everywhere. There's inspos everywhere. There's amazing shufflers anywhere you go. And if there's not any shufflers where you're at, start a community and start, building something where you're at, because
it's sure to be people.
Yeah, there's sure to be people, and there's people that are always willing to learn and willing to come out to meetups. So definitely, definitely do that. So
find your community.
So let's go to the next question. Let's see. What has been the best part of your shuffle journey?
Well, incredibly grateful for you. Like my life has shuffling changed my life.
Yeah.
And that sounds so cheesy and like so corny, but like if it wasn't for shuffling, I wouldn't be going to all these festivals. I wouldn't be given the opportunities. I would never have met you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my close friends that I have now are shufflers. Like,
yeah, I agree too. Like going back to that, like going back to like how it's changed. Like it was a hobby for me at first, and like it's still kind of a hobby, but like at the same time, it's more so like it's becoming like my lifestyle, and like the way we do things like everywhere. It's like people want me to teach classes, which I don't teach classes yet. I don't know if I plan to, because I'm not really the best teacher, but like I do like doing tutorials and stuff. So yeah, it's like we'll see what the future holds for us.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm lost my train of thought. But.
Well, that pretty much brings me to like the final question, which is what you were asking me, like throughout your beginning of your shuffle journey to like where you are now. Can you give me like steps on like
a summary?
Yeah, like a little summary of like.
Yeah. So I mean, when you gave your summary, I think it was just more towards like.
Getting involved with the D&B.
Yeah, which obviously like there was more to it, but I guess I can touch on that since like it kind of overlaps at that point.
Which going into like that was like when I started breaking levels, like when I started dancing with other shufflers and like seeing the way, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but like seeing the way they grooved and seeing the way their body weight shifts as they hit moves, because a lot of people do the same moves with shuffling, but they have their own sauce and their own style that they bring to the table, because everybody has different personalities and everybody has their way of being them. And so I don't know, there's so much to it. The community is amazing. We love it. I love her. It's been a beautiful I've been shuffling for 7 years now. It's been a beautiful 7 years. At first though,
Kota, you asked me a question.
Sorry.
You're like, it's been a beautiful 7-year journey. I'm like, I was supposed to talk about my journey.
Okay, going back to Mur.
Okay, alright, okay.
Okay.
You done?
Yep.
Okay. So.
That's us though. That's like our life.
I don't even know where it was gonna start. Okay, so shuffling. Quarantine happened. I like literally didn't know anyone. Obviously locked down. I was like, don't know how to find people. Just shuffling by myself. And then once things started like opening back up, I came across on Instagram the DMV Shuffle Circle. Went to one of the meetups. You weren't there, unfortunately. But then I think like a couple months later, you reached out to me on Instagram just to do a collab.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we met. But, like, I was so freaking excited.
Yeah.
Like, I love choreos, I love content, and, like, I didn't know who to reach out to, how to do it with anyone in this area. So, like, when Kota reached out to me, it, like, really, that was, like, the first door that opened up, and I was, like, so excited.
It sparked that fire in that chest.
Ew. Kota.
Sorry.
Okay, so, yeah, and then we met, and then, like, obviously COVID was, like, still a thing, so, like, we just started doing content together, and just, like, became, you know, obviously, like, our thing to do content. What?
Keep going, sorry.
Gosh.
It's, yeah.
And so, Kota, like, I'm just, like, losing my train of thought here.
I don't even know now.
Okay. Met you. Started going to festivals, started traveling with you because you already knew all these people. Like, you already knew Van, you've met Elena, you knew, like, Adrian, like, Kento, everyone. So, like...
Yeah, like,
through social media.
But through COVID, like, I knew... Like, the main people that I knew were Vanessa, Elena, Gabby. Like, I knew them. But, like, after COVID, like, Zoom calls, Zoom meetups, Zoom...
Classes,
this and that, like, classes, yeah, like, that was when I met a ton of people, like, also Mary Grace is someone we haven't mentioned, but she's freaking phenomenal.
I've not met her yet.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. I met her at Moonrise in 2017 or 18, I think, but I think it was 18, but yeah, she's awesome.
So after, I guess, like, you introducing me to, like, all these people, like, I guess our shuffle journey just kind of, like, really started to explode because then we started getting opportunities of, like, going to festivals, and we went, like, last year, 2021, like, we went to, like, I think, like, 2 to 3 festivals, but, like, this year we went to so many festivals, and, like, it's just, like, the opportunity that we were, like, given.
And the crazy thing is when we met, I was like, oh, I don't want to spend all this money unless we're going to festivals for free, right? And that was when we kind of started getting these opportunities. We paid for
like, most
not
of
a lot of them, not most of them, like,
well, because we didn't start getting those opportunities until, like, the end of this year.
Yeah, so maybe most of them. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's just crazy how, like, those doors opened up for us and everything, but just, like, this year was, like, really astronomical for me in my shuffle journey because I achieved, like, so many goals that I wanted to achieve. Like,
the levels that she's hit throughout, like, since when I first met her and, like, through now, like, I've always told her, like, she's a content queen. Like, I've learned so much from her, from, you know, making content because I was a freestyle shuffler, and like, I've always wanted to do content, but, like, I never, like, I still honestly suck at it, but, like, I practice, and every day I get better, and she helps me out a ton.
And he helped me out with, like, my freestyling because I did not know how to freestyle to save my life. But like, this year, like, met, like, almost all of my inspos, got to dance with them, like, you know, just, like, not privately, but just, like, outside of, like, a public festival setting and stuff like that, and just, like, it's just insane. Like, I never thought that, like, 2 years in that I would be experiencing, like, what I have. So it's been
super grateful.
It's been a wild freaking ride. Wild ride with all of our friends that we've met, and just I'm so grateful for all of it. But but
we're so happy that you guys just tuned into that.
And I hope you guys stick with us through our upcoming journey because we want to start documenting it.
Yeah, and please share some of you know, your shuffle journeys or experiences, and, like, when you guys start it, maybe in the comments below. We'd love to hear about it. And subscribe if you liked what we had to talk about here in this last video, or in this short video.
Can't wait to take you guys along.
Yep, and it is...
Mer.
And it is Kota. We'll see y'all next time. Later.